Okay, here we are again, Denver North Yard. Looking north, and we're about to take a trip from Denver North Yard to Junction. So this is just a flyby with all the terrain. There's a icon on the front of this video to bring up the fog charts for this, so you can track it along the way. So this is just a couple of test trains that I've been running. You can see some wells on the right for BNSF. Don't look too hardly at my bridges, please. They're pretty crap. Okay, you got your loco servicing shops on the left there. So trains come from Kansas, St. Louis, etc., down the Lehman sub and into North Yard here, where the power comes off and new power's put on. Usually 6 locos to run up to the Craig branch or West Elk, or ultimately up to Savage Lake, or even Savage Loadout rather, or perhaps even the Skyline mine. Which is way up on Soldier Summit. So here we go. We're leaving the UP North Yard. Tracks on the right there are BNSF leaving for the Longmont sub up to Fort Collins. This is all Pecos Junction. CNS Junction. And we have the Golden sub, the BNSF Golden sub, off on the left there. Okay, ignore that coal train on the left, it's just a test train. So from here it's a 2.2% grade for 40 miles to the Moffat Tunnel. It's a long slog. Here we have the speed boards. We're only at a 1.5% grade here, but basically I enter the weight of the train depending on the locos, and it will give set the speed of the train for this particular stretch of track. Hence we get realistic speeds for the track. So we'll speed this up so we don't take all day. It's a long way. So this is the Moffat sub, and we're on the first part of it up to the east portal of the Moffat Tunnel. And we're into the first siding at Leyden. This is all automated. Trains, if they meet, they will first one there will pull into the siding there, and basically to get train velocity up, to keep train velocity up. You'll notice a whole lot of different triggers on the track. These are to set routines, variables, and train vars to make everything operate correctly. A lot of testing goes into this. This is into Rocky. The next siding on the way up. Now we head into the big 110 curve. There's actually a whole lot of empty coal wagons on the inside of this curb to protect from the wind. I guess we'll put them in one day. The siding used to be called Clay, but it's now called Elsie. I'll make a better aerial one day. And what are we? Yeah, we're right into the 2% climb now. This is plain. Sorry if you're getting sick. These are JR tunnels. I'll modify some or make some to get rid of some of those gaps or something eventually. And we're coming through to Crescent now. This has slightly been lengthened. As I said, it's all automated, so you set a train off from Grand Junction, you set one off from Denver, or you can set 10 trains off from Grand Junction and 10 off from Denver, and they will just all automatically pass them on these sidings. You don't have to lift another finger. It will just all look after itself. Rather proud of that. It's taken a lot of development over the years, but and a lot of testing. While I've been away, I've actually got another computer that just solely runs testing. And most nights when I go to bed, I set up a test routine, and the trains will run. Get up in the morning, check, and make sure all the variables and train vars are all in the right place. So here we are now. We're into Cliff, still on a 2% grade. A lot of UP coal trains come through here. Going down 2% just as slow as going up with an empty train. Through now into Rollins. Still got some work to do on the roads, but this will do to get us going. Now we're into Tolland. It's a very, very long siding. I've lengthened a few of these sidings to make things a bit easier to set up. I did originally have it all correct lengths, but the programming for it just got so complicated, and the testing would probably take me the next century to get it, so I had to simplify it in some ways. Ignore those little wheel cars, they're just to get bridge heights right, and although you can't run double stacks over this track, over this line, the clearances in the tunnel don't allow it. And here we are at the Moffat Tunnel. This siding here is East Portal. We'll make this a bit better one day, but it'll do for now. East Portal, and we're on our way through the mountain. Just as a bit of interest, I'll show you this. There's the track way down there. Here we are at Winter Park. Ski resort. And heading for Fraser. Fraser I've lengthened quite a bit. It's only a short siding, I think it's where Amtrak stopped. Through Fraser now. And heading for Tabernash. There's Tabernash. Although I haven't really put this into the programming, it's kind of a bit difficult. It's kind of like a one-way loop, if you know what I mean, a one-way passing siding, so I just got too complicated, so I've left it out. Maybe I might put it in sometime. We're heading now to Cranby via Byers Canyon, which I think it's Byers, or was it Burns Canyon? Byers Canyon, very scenic through here apparently. But not in the world of DEM maps, and I'm not going to do it up so it's nice either. Coming up on Cranby. And heading for Sulphur. I'm going to do a video of I'll run 2 trains against 2 trains and show you how it all works automated, and we'll show you them pass. They'll probably pass somewhere in here. I'll run them from up at Phippsburg to North Yard, and North Yard to Phippsburg, and show you what happens. We'll put that on the list of things to do. So here we are. This is Sulphur. flat sidings called flat. You'll be able to follow all this on the fog charts that and we're into troublesome. The programming's been set up so that Amtrak runs as a top priority train, so when an Amtrak train gets, say, within 3 or 4 sidings distance of say a coal train or a manifest, something like that, it will take priority and put the other trains into the siding, so as it keeps its timetable and keeps its speed up. So this should be Kremlin. Amazing. I can remember after this long out of it. Kremlin, and now we're heading for Gore. Very close together, real pain in the ass to program. Same with Tolland and East Portal. Very close, real pain in the backside. Azure. And here we are at Radium. And into Yamini. And here we are at Bond. I've lengthened this track a bit to fit the operations I want to do. It's a bit of a cheat, but I had to do something for getting coal trains out of the Craig branch to go back towards Grand Junction. So this is where the Craig branch branches off. There it is on the right there. the main to Grand Junction is here, and the Craig branch, which goes up to 2 mines, the 20 Mile or Energy Mine and the Kawao Mine. There's also two power plants up there as well, so we'll take a trip up there another day. So that is the Moffat branch, what we've been on, and it continues all the way to Phippsburg. So now we're moving on to the Glenwood sub. Sorry, that was not the branch, that's the Moffat sub, and we're now heading on to the Glenwood sub as we continue our journey towards Grand Junction. Into Dell. And here we are at range. UP runs 2 manifest trains a day through here. BNSF has trackage rights and runs 2 trains, 2 manifest trains through here, 1 each way a day. I've read that BNSF sometimes runs grain trains through here, also unit oil trains from near Helper as well. And it's on top of all the coal traffic, so to start with we'll mostly concentrate on coal traffic. And here we are at dot 0, and this here is the line that heads off to the famous Tennessee Pass that a lot of people talk about. I haven't worked on it to get it right, but we're not going too far down there. We're not reinstating the Tennessee Pass. So this is dot 0. As we continue west towards Grand Junction. And this would be Allen. There we go. one of the longest sidings on the line through to Grand Junction. It is long, 14,000 feet, immediately followed by one of the shortest. I haven't got that programmed into anything, it's too short to be useful. The next one is Chakra, or something like that. Don't take my pronunciation, please. This is all basically downhill here, right from the Moffat Tunnel. It's only a few little climbs, but most of it, as you can see, or if you're looking at the fog charts, you'll see is mostly downhill. And here we are at Glenwood. Oh, yuck, I'll have to fix that up. There's still a lot that needs done, but we've got a few buildings in just to give it a bit of life. We actually botched that up. That siding before then was Grizzly. This is Chariot coming up now. As we head down to Newcastle. Through silt. rifle. We'll just make sure about that. There we go. It's the trouble when you take some time off, you lose it all. My old brain anyway. And we're into Lacey. It's always fun trying to work out what the industries are to try and put the right cars in there. Spend hours studying Google Earth and all the others to try and figure it out. And DOS. The programming of the sidings based on 4-letter abbreviations. That's why you find DOS with an underscore here. Yep, 0.3% grade, so we're coming downhill at 0.3%. This is Parachute. This is the potash mine. I believe BNSF worked this. This is where BNSF changed crews. I believe, I'm not 100% sure about that. I remember reading something. Into Grand Valley. You might see a lot of these on my maps. There's a bug in 2010 that a train sitting in a siding looks a long way up the track at signals, and if any of them are red, it will stay red. So you have to do that to break that sequence. It can be a real pain. Dubuque. This is the Colorado River on the left. I think it's Colorado or Little Colorado, one or the other. I think the Little Colorado's further back up. I better shut up because I don't know what I'm talking about. Tunnel. To swap this road out too. It's got a centre in it, so anyway, after tunnel comes cameo. Used to be a big power plant here once. Oh, I don't know about big, but there used to be a power plant here once. Some work to do here. Now we come out into Palisade. It's 12,000 foot siding, so good for running big trains. Coming up on Clifton. Now we're just about there. This is the lead for Grand Junction Yard, and we can see the yard coming up now. It's Grand Junction. We have a few test trains and whatnots around here, so just ignore that. It's just not what it's supposed to be. The Norfolk branch goes off to the left there to West Elk Mine, Somerset, Montrose, and Grand Junction. The main carries on through here into Utah and Helper. We'll do that trip next. And we'll also explain about this alteration to the track here on the left. Amtrak on the right here. And BNSF in here. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Cheers.